In Hoplite Battle Royale, you are supposed to choose a kit before the start of every game, and each kit gives a specific advantage depending on what it is. And in today's video, I choose 4 of these 6 kits and have incredibly lucky games with them. Will I be able to win in any of these 4 Hoplite Battle Royales that I play in this video? Let's find out. Alright, let's hop into game 1 using the miner kit. As soon as I spawned in, I jumped off the dragon to immediately loot a desert village, one of the strongest structures on Hoplite. And within only looting a few chests, I already had full iron armor, a diamond, 4 obsidian, and 26 bread. I then found a player who was attempting to log off, and I wanted some more loot. So he then dropped his archer kit, consisting of a bow and a bunch of arrows, towards me, and then he locked out. And I also wanted a free player head, so I headed outside and immediately grabbed some sand to suffocate the corpse. His corpse took a little longer to despawn than I thought, but since I already had the full armor, I could wait the time. His corpse then suffocated, and I then went to pick up the player head. After looting the village, I made my way over to a nearby cave to begin crafting the smelter's pickaxe, which is an enchanted iron pickaxe that auto-smelts any ore you mine. I then decided to use the player head to create an Aries blessing, which was a great choice because I got a diamond block out of it, bringing me to 10 diamonds in total. I then used those diamonds to craft a diamond chestplate, just so I could have a little more protection in fights. Afterwards, I made my way up towards the surface where I spotted a player wearing no armor. So I decided to wait around and try and quick drop him for an easy player head. However, there was another player lurking in this village, so it'd be insanely harder now that I had competition. As soon as PvP enabled, I immediately started chasing after the naked player, attempting to get a free player head. However, the other full iron player was right behind me and attempted to steal my life and the other players. However, with a diamond chestplate, I realized that if I quick dropped the iron player, I could gain 2 player heads instead of 1, so I turned around. After getting the full iron player low, I then decided that I wanted 2 player heads, so after bowing him away, I then decided to chase after the naked player, knowing that I couldn't let him get away. After a little while of running, I then spotted the naked player, and after only a few hits with my sword, I had depleted his health significantly. After a little while of running, I had shot him down to 3 HP, and somehow by sheer luck, he fell into a cave and died of fall damage, so now was my chance to turn on the full iron player. And after an intense fight, I had finally come out on top, gaining 2 player heads and a lot of healing. After I had finished looting the player from the surface, I made my way down into the cave to loot the other player, where I found even more gold and another player head. After I had finished looting these players, I made my way over to the center of the map, where I found the supply drop crates, which gave me a G head, some iron, some wind charges, and a KB fish, which would be insanely helpful later on in fights. After I had finished looting the supply drop, I made my way over towards the center of the map where I would find the most people. I then spotted an iron player who was bowing other people, so I then shot him, not realizing that he was on very low health, and I killed him. I then ran over to collect the loot, which included a lot more gold and another player head. However, another enemy was waiting to clean, and he chased me down, wanting the loot for himself. Now I want to give you guys some context on the guy that I'm fighting, Top Sellout. He chased me for an incredibly long amount of time. Like, I cannot tell you how long this guy chased me for. I had 3 G heads at the beginning of this fight, but he would not leave me alone no matter how much I ran. He was just consistently chasing me for no reason. I guess he just wanted the diamond chestplate because he chased me even into the nether and even when there was 5 minutes until deathmatch. He was relentless. Needing to take a breather, I went to the nether, however Top Sellout still chased me through the dimension. And as I was getting a low health, I had to G-head. I then bow spammed the crap out of him, just to be annoying like he was to me. I didn't do that much damage, however I did weaken his armor. We had a little fight in the nether fortress, however I had no healing, so I had to place a lava bucket, and I ran. Okay, to put a long story short, after I lost him in the Nether, I went back to the overworld, but he somehow tracked me back down again and chased me all the way up until deathmatch. And with no healing in deathmatch, I was almost certainly dead. So I attempted to loot a chest, but wouldn't you know it, Top Sellout was there waiting for me. I couldn't do anything though, as I had no healing and he had a bow, so he eventually bowed me down and I died. Alright, let's hop into game 2. For game number 2, I decided to choose the Trapper Kit, and instead of rushing the Harpoon Launcher or the Ore Pick, I decided that I would actually make a trap this game. Now, with minimal redstone experience, this would be very hard. However, I found a structure near spawn and decided that I would make a block-off trap. My idea was that I would run into a structure while getting chased by an enemy. Then, before they could chase me into the structure, I would block off the entrance and they would fall onto a pit of dripstone. The thing is, I was very inefficient at gathering resources, and by the time PvP had rolled around, I was still in the caves. It even took me a longer amount of time to set up the trap, but eventually, I had the trap done and was ready to go bait players. But as I was heading up to the surface to begin baiting players, I spotted an enemy player waiting outside my trap. So I decided to kill him, knowing that I would need the gear to stand a chance of deathmatch. He eventually made his way down to the bottom of the trap, and I knew it was now or never. And somehow I managed to drop this player with 3 golden apples, enhancing my healing even more. And while killing this player did feel nice, it wasn't exactly the loot I was looking for. And going into deathmatch, I stood no chance against the other players that had full diamond armor. And although I did manage to get a kill,
what do we got been going?
and managed to get enchants, I stood no chance against the full diamond. And I was easily eliminated. Now, let's move on to Game 3. Now, for Game 3, I decided to choose the Warrior Kit, and this game was the craziest game by far. It started off with me finding a Power 5 book inside one of the structures, which was absurdly lucky. I then had the idea to bow spam the entire game because I had a powerful book. However, with the minute left to go before PvP started, I spotted a player wearing diamond leggings in my cave, and I assumed that he must have found an ancient city. However, he was wearing no other armor and had a clean iron sword, so I swiftly eliminated him, gaining a lot of loot. Afterwards, I headed back up towards the surface where I spotted a player attempting to enchant. I then ambushed him, but after he pushed me away with a bow, I realized that he left his enchantment table back by the lake, and then I went to pick it up. However, this is when he caught up to me, and now I knew I had to quick drop him.
I also pop the diamond leggings on there too. Oh, it's the 2. It's on 5. That was a good kill.
After eliminating this player, I then made my way into a cave to see what I could find. But I then found an 8 vein of diamonds, bringing my diamond total up to 12. I then mined an insane more amount of gold until I found even more diamonds, making me fully enchanted diamond armor. This was the most stacked that I'd ever been at the time of this recording. Afterwards, I then went on my horse and enchanted my bow with power 5 to go looking for players. However, I could find absolutely no one that was willing to fight, and eventually made it to deathmatch with little to no healing. As soon as I rushed a middle chest, I then spotted another full diamond coming to attack me, and I was no match for this player, being swiftly eliminated by him. Alright, let's move on to the final game, Game 4. Alright, game number 4. For this game, things were going to be a little bit more different, because I was joining Hoplite's Civilization mode and going the Looter Kit. Now, this game went about as expected. I mined full out of the cave, then went back to surface to meet up with my teammates. Once I met up with my teammates, we then began enchanting, preparing to fight. Once we were done enchanting, we made our way over to another team's biome where we spotted the Autumn team. However, the Autumn team was led by Hasvik, a Spanish Minecraft YouTuber. We then jumped in a cave preparing to quick drop some of their news.
Just fight people on the surface. Back down there. Is it okay? Oh my god, I'm dropping down there. Line's on 10, line's on 10. Nice, good job. Gapping. Taking care of that. Caribou died?
After eliminating 2 players in the cave, we then made our way over towards the surface where the last 4 remaining players on our team were, including Hasvik. After gaining momentum in the fight, we then picked off all 3 members one by one, eliminating their team entirely. After taking a minute to catch our breath, we then made our way over towards the center of the map where we spotted enemy players, including a team wielding the Emerald Blade legendary weapon. We then knew we had to take this weapon for ourselves, so we initiated a fight.
Look how nut he's on 13. He's dead. Let's kill Enders. He's dead. Nice, bro. That was a good kill.
After eliminating this player, we then eliminated a few more players right before deathmatch. And in deathmatch, we did not stop our reign of terror, eliminating 2 teams and weakening the others, meaning we were now the strongest team in the game. However, our teammates then started to drop. First it was Hypocrites, then ICFX, and after that, Danlax, meaning only me and Baby Dragon were left standing. And with my limited amount of gear, I could do nothing to help Baby Dragon. And with the jungle team still having 2 players and maxed out gear, Baby Dragons didn't stand a chance. Eventually, it turned into a 2v1v1 against me, the jungle, and the secure team. And although the jungle team did have 2 players, the secure team were led by one of the high star ranking players, Kaylee Farmer. So this game was far from over. Alt Elephant and Kaylee Farmer then began to fight, and with both of them getting insanely low, I knew now was my chance.
Oh my god. Bro, they were so low. Oh my god.
Eventually, with my limited amount of gear and healing, I was taken down by Kaylee Farmer, ending the 4-game series. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy, please make sure to leave a like down below and subscribe. I'll be coming out with loads more content just like this video, so stay tuned. Alright, bye.